I'm a hiking guide. I've taken tons of clients up to the Hollywood sign. The way I'm going to show you in this video is what I think the best way is for a few reasons. First, there's plenty of parking at the trailhead, and it's also reachable by a ride share. You don't have to walk through residential communities or go park on a residential street. It's just all easy. There's a parking lot and you start the hike at the trailhead. Also, the trails have trail signs. They're nice and wide. They're well marked. A lot of the time we're going to be on real dirt trails and not just on a paved road. It's a really beautiful hike even outside of the Hollywood sign. So if you're liking the video, if you find it helpful, if you could do me a favor and click that little thumbs up, thank you. And a big thank you to everyone who supports this channel and makes this video possible without any sponsorships. All right, let's start the hike. The Hollywood sign sits atop Mount Lee, which is inside Griffith Park, one of the largest urban parks in North America. Now, we're going to drive through a gate up Canyon Drive. The gate is open from sunrise till sunset, so just plan your trip around those hours. And once you pull in, you're going to go up a little ways, past a little playground and some park area to the main parking lot. Now, there are bathrooms here, but very little else. But the lot is large and does fill up on the weekends and middle of the day, so just be aware. And from here, just walk up the road towards the trailhead. There is a smaller lot just up the road here, so if you want to try that, you can. If you come here early, you can sometimes score a parking space there. And then the trailhead is just past that little lot, and it's easy to find. There is a gate marking it, and there's also a big trail sign here, which you can take a picture of in case you need to reference the map later. The hike is approximately 6 miles total. It's 3 miles up and 3 miles down. It might sound like a lot, but it's only about 3 or 4 hours of walking, which most people can do. I like to break it into 3 sections. The first is 1 mile uphill on Brush Canyon. Then we have a breather of about a mile on Mulholland Trail. And then at the end of Mulholland Trail, we're going to make the right-hand turn and head uphill behind the Hollywood sign on Mount Lee Drive. From the trailhead, we're just going to go around the gate and start hiking up the dirt path. And you can see it's nice and wide, easy to follow. There's no sketchy edges or scrambling. And as you kind of gently go uphill, you'll see the trail unfolding uphill in front of you. That's where we're going to be going, uphill here. About in the middle of the climb, if you're observant and you look off to your left, you'll be able to catch a glimpse of the Hollywood sign. We'll be able to see it much better than that, obviously, in a little bit. But the highlight of this part is looking down into Brush Canyon, which is really lush now here in the winter and the spring. This is actually designated as an urban wilderness, not an urban park. After about a mile or so, we're going to make the left onto the Mulholland Trail. And you can see there's a trail sign here, real easy to follow. We're going to the top of Mount Lee, but those Hollywood sign markers are for the viewpoints, which will also show you as we go. And this begins our second mile where you can catch your breath a little bit. It's not uphill, it just sort of rolls up and down. And if you look off to the left, you'll be able to see down into Brush Canyon where we just came up. And you can even see the trail we just came up in the distance over there. Now this is a series of sort of twists and turns around the ridges. You can see it here easily in the 3D map. We're going to do about a half a dozen of these as we continue on Mulholland. You don't need any special hiking equipment to do this, but I do recommend trail runners or sneakers. Wearing fitness clothes, same thing you'd wear to the gym, is usually good. And it can get really hot here when it's warm out, so bring at least 1 liter of water. It helps to just bring a little backpack to carry it as well, and that's all you really need for this hike. At about the middle of this section, you'll see the Holly Ridge Trail going down to the left. The trail kind of splits. We're going to keep right here, and luckily there's another trail sign. We're going to keep heading towards the Hollywood sign viewpoints, which will get us there. And we're just going to continue up here to the right on Mulholland Trail. As you hike along the stretch, look off to the left for views down into downtown LA, and also of Griffith Observatory, which you can visit as well. When we get to the end of the stretch, you're going to get nice views of the Hollywood sign. I'll show you some other nice views a little bit later in the video, but the Hollywood sign is celebrating its 100th birthday in 2023. When the sign first went up, it said Hollywoodland, and it was advertising a housing development. It would only cost you about $7,000 or $8,000 to get your foot in there. Obviously, the houses go for much more today. But the appearance of the sign coincided with the rise of Hollywood as the mecca for the entertainment industry. Eventually, the word land was dropped, and it became the iconic landmark that it is today. Although in the 70s, it fell into disrepair. Now it's protected by the Hollywood Sign Trust. Shortly after that nice viewpoint, we're going to come to a T-junction at Mount Lee Drive, and we're going to make the right-hand turn and head uphill. There's a sign here. Don't get confused. We're going to Mount Lee Summit. I'll show you the Hollywood sign viewpoint after this if you want to check that out. But right now we're making the right. We're heading the last mile uphill on Mount Lee Drive, and this is uphill. You're probably going to sweat a little bit, and if you look up, you'll be able to see the road and trail winding in front of you, people hiking up there. It's not the toughest hike, but it's not the easiest either. As you swing around to the north side, you'll get some nice views down into Burbank and Forest Lawn Cemetery, the celebrity cemetery. It's where Carrie Fisher, Paul Walker, Betty Davis, Liberace, all kinds of famous people are buried there. Check out the views and then keep on heading uphill. As you do get uphill, you're going to be able to see over to the right, and there's a tall peak over there called Cahuenga Peak. That was originally owned by Howard Hughes, and it was added to Griffith Park in recent years. And as you continue up, you'll see a small trail heading over there and a plaque. That's one of the ways to hike up here. It's a lot more sketchy than this. I recommend this, and if you continue up, you'll see a fence, and we'll be actually behind the Hollywood sign, and there's some better views of it as we continue up, but just keep on going. You'll see a radio tower. It looks like a dead end. People think this is named after General Lee of the Confederacy. It's actually named after a guy named Lee who put the first radio tower up here. But there's another little secret trail off to the left over here, and if we continue off to the left, you can see those people coming down. We're going to climb up this steep but very short little dirt path to get up to the proper viewpoint where there's no fence or anything in front of us. And if you climb up a little bit here, there is a nice little area with a bench and viewpoints and nice panoramic views all the way around. And this is the top of Mount Lee, so enjoy it. And obviously you can get these great views from behind the Hollywood sign with Los Angeles in the distance, so soak it all in. Get your unique shot, pat yourself on the back for doing this climb, and then from here we're going to head back down, but I'll show you how to do a detour to the Hollywood sign viewpoint. The return part's easy. You just go back down the way you came up, but on the way down, instead of making the left-hand turn onto Mulholland, if you want to go to the viewpoint, it's only about a 10-15 minute walk down the paved Mount Lee Drive. And you just walk down Mount Lee Drive until you get to the very end where you see this gate here. You make the hard right, and there it is. There's the Hollywood viewpoint. You can walk up this a little bit to get some better views. And these are considered, I think, the best Hollywood sign views. So you've been to the top and you got the good views and you got it all. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment on YouTube. I'm pretty good about answering those. If you like the video, you can say thank you by giving the thumbs up. If you want to bring these directions along with you on the hike, just go to HikingGuy.com or search for Hiking Guy Hollywood sign hike, and you can save them to your phone or print them out so you have them when you're out here. And if you want to do some more hikes in the Los Angeles area in Southern California, I have a ton of them on my website, and I'll put a playlist up on the screen where you can check out some more. There's really some of the best hiking in the world here in Southern California.